Hello, people. The month of June is over. It felt like a very long month, but also like a very short month. I don't know how. It was a very good reading month for me, sort of. There were 2 5-stars, a couple 4s, mostly 3s, I think. I only read like 3 physical books, actually technically 4, but like that was a reread for me. We will be discussing it briefly, but not right now. So the first book that I finished was a physical book, and that is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. I gave this book a 3-star because honestly it was pretty boring. The writing was boring, the characters themselves were boring. Also, like, the plot was kind of boring-ish. There were parts where I was pretty interested, like, and invested, but like, yeah. But the reason I gave it 3 stars was because I loved like the characters' dynamics. Normally, if I do love like the characters, then I will generally like the book. Not all the time. So I did like The Fellowship of the Ring, but I didn't love it. There's no content stuff, except for like, of course, like violence. I guess you could say violence. If you've seen the movie, then you're fine. I've seen the movie and I love the movie. I don't love the book. This does not happen very often where like I love the movie but I don't love the book. So yeah, that is The Fellowship of the Ring. So the next book that I read, I do not own, which is very sad because I love the book, and that is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. It's a 5-star read. I loved it. Okay, so like I loved like every single aspect. The plot was interesting. I loved the romance, the characters, like the platonic relationships, as I've mentioned, like the romantic relationships, and like her writing is amazing. I read her other books series, whatever, The Queen's Rising, and that was really good. I was impressed by that. And then I loved Divine Rivals. It was so good. Like, mind-blowing. And then, so for content stuff, there's some stuff to be aware about. There's like some violence, like mostly towards the latter half, if not the end. And then there is a lesbian couple, like very like small, like minor-ish character. Well, one of them is a minor character, one of them is like more of a side character. Language, not that much, a couple words. There is an open door scene, but it isn't super graphic, and like you will know that it comes before it actually comes. But yeah, there's that. Then I read the first A Good Girl's Guide to Murder book. I gave that one 3 stars. So I did enjoy it. I wasn't super invested until like 75%. I was just like, okay, this is a good book. Not sure if I'm going to read the rest. And then I loved how it ended. Oh my gosh, the end was really good. And then I loved the romance between Pip and Ravi. As for content, there's some cusses, like, well, not some, like there's like 20. I did count. It gets worse more towards the middle. And then like at the beginning and the end, it's not super bad. There's a mention of a certain board game, but it's not like actually used. One of the characters felt very uncomfortable using it, so they didn't. And then there's mentions of having sex, but like there's nothing graphic at all. Mentions of rape and assault. And then there's also mentions of drugs and drug usage. I feel like that all of that did take away from how I enjoyed it. And then the next book, the 5th book that I read during the month of June, was Adorning the Dark by Andrew Peterson. This was really good. I loved it. It's nonfiction about writing and the creative process and how God uses, how we should use our creativity to glorify God. It was very well written. It's by Andrew Peterson. As I've mentioned, he wrote the Wing Feather Saga, which I have. I love them, and one of my favorite series, I'd say. Like, it's no longer like my absolute favorite. That's definitely changed, but like it's still up there. So I gave that book 4 stars because like I was a bit bored towards the end. So like what happened with that is there's a coffee shop here in the city where I live that has like a small book section, and apparently like they had A Journey in the Dark, and I've never seen that here. So I decided to like take it off the shelf, read a little bit of it, like see what it was like, and I loved it. Like I read the prologue and then the first chapter in like 10 minutes, and that never happens. And so I asked the worker who served us, hey, is it okay if I take this home? And then he's like, yeah, as long as you bring it back. I'm gonna do that more often because they have another book that I want to read called A Thousand Splendid Suns. Yeah, it was very well written. I got slightly bored towards the end, so that's why I gave it 4 stars. And then the next book that I read was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. That was really good. It was not as good as that. I gave it like 4.5 out of 5. I wish there was a bit more romance, because if you've read Divine Rivals and not read Ruthless Vows, go into Ruthless Vows expecting like mostly plot and less romance, and like it's more fantasy focused, like based like it shows a lot more of the backstory of what's happening and all of that. So yeah, I gave this one 4 stars. Like I was expecting it because I saw Rachel Catherine's video before I read it, and like she was talking about how her people have told her that it's like more fantasy based, and so I did go into expecting it, but like not as much as I should have. And then I read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. That's the book that I was rereading, which this time I gave it 3 stars. It was a good book. I've read it a couple times before already, but not like physically. Honestly, I don't know what to say except for like some of the content stuff. So like there is a gay character, main character I should say. Also some language, and then of course like spiritual stuff. There's like shadow hunters, which are like part angel, fight demons, all of that. And also the downworlders, vampires, warlocks, werewolves, and fairies. All of those people somehow have fairy blood, or like not fairy blood, but like demon blood. So yeah, just like be aware of that when you go into it. And then also it was not super well written. Just so you know, don't go in expecting it to be like the best book ever, because it's honestly not. And then I read Good Girl Bad Blood, which I gave 4 stars. It was really good. It hooked me a lot sooner than like the first book. Like when they were describing the character who goes missing, I was just like, yeah, I can relate to this person. I want this person to be found. Which was not the case for the first book. I gave this one 4 stars simply because it like didn't give me the 5-star feeling. For content, I think there's some language. Also, like there's still drugs and all that, and like there's also a sort of stalker person, and also someone dies at the end. And then I read the next book in the series, As Good as Dead, which I gave 4 stars. There's a lot more content stuff in this. Like there's a lot more like drug usage and like language, I think. So like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, there are 2 versions of it. The English version, like the British version, and then the American version. I have tried both for this series. So like the first book and the third book that I read was the British version, and then the second book was American version. If you had the choice to like read the British or American versions, I would go with the British because in my opinion, like it just like makes a lot more sense and it flows easier. So yeah, As Good as Dead, I gave 4 stars. At the end, I was just like, wow, what did I read? It was good. I liked it, but like there's some stuff. Like I'm not going to spoil it because if I did say what stuff it was like, then I would spoil it. Well, okay, I can say that she is trying to investigate her own stalker. That's the most I'm gonna say. And then I also read Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis, which was a 3-star read for me. I didn't really like it too much. It was pretty boring. There was a lot of stuff where I was just like, wow, that line, or like this line is good. And I could relate this spiritual thing to my own world, or to like my own life. This is by C.S. Lewis. Content stuff, I think there's an A word. Not sure about anything more. And then I read the next 5-star read, which was The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. What? Okay, like this is like my actual reaction because I finished it last night. What did I just read? Huh? Could you answer that? What did I just read? This was amazing. I love this series. I'm currently reading the 3rd book. It's over there. I'm not gonna get it because I'd have to get up and I don't want to get up. I mean, I'm not comfortable right here, but like still I don't want to get up. So yeah, this is The Ballad of Never After. And Stephanie Garber, hello. Your fans are very concerned for the main character, and also maybe a bit for you. And I'm gonna go kill you. I'm gonna kill you because of that ending, okay? I'm really glad I own the next book. Actually, I'm gonna go get it because I want to show you something and I'm mad about it. Okay, I am back. Look. Why? This was the only edition that they were selling that was not hardback. Why? This is gonna make me so mad when I see it on my shelf. But I'm loving A Curse for True Love. That will probably be my next wrap-up. I'm not doing a TBR for the month of June because I feel like I've already done my summer TBR, and I'm going to get ahead of that. As you can probably see, I haven't read a bunch of the books from the TBR. I've read The Fellowship of the Ring and Divine Rivals, and then also A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all for joining me in this video. Be sure to comment down below what books you read during this month, whether it was a good month, bad month, okay month. And I will see you soon in the next video. Probably won't be for a while because I'm leaving in like a week, less than a week, like 5 days. So I will see you guys. Also, check out my Instagram, should be linked in the comment section below. And I will see you soon. Bye!